Football is a simple game.
22 men chase a ball
Around a pitch for 90 minutes.
and at the end,
France or Croatia
will win the World Cup. Hey guys, we're back with our next round of predictions, and as always, I'm here with Ollie. Hey Ollie, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Danya. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Probably better than you today.
I think that's a safe bet.
All right, so we're going to get into it right away here. So we'll leave the last game. But your first prediction, France versus Belgium. You actually had Belgium winning in that game.
I'm going to go for a close Belgium win. I'm going to go 2-1 Belgium.
Ooh, okay.
I did not do well this round, did I? No, look, Belgium I thought had been the most impressive team in the tournament up till the semi-final. But France just have this knack, don't they? They just have this knack of doing what needs to be done. And I had a real kind of moment of realization, of enlightenment, you could say, in that semi-final against Belgium, where, because, you know, I'd been kind of disappointed that France hadn't really, the word sparkled, I guess, hadn't really kind of performed that well in an attacking sense at this tournament, given that the players they've got are arguably the best attackers in the world. But I realised that it's not that they're underperforming, it's just that they're playing a kind of a strategy that's aimed at winning the game, at getting through, rather than at impressing people. So, you know, I guess that's what happened again. They played a style that was quite defensive, and it worked for them in the end. They shackled De Bruyne and Hazard for most of the game. Kante was brilliant. Matuidi was brilliant, and another great ball from Griezmann, who I think low-key has had a very good tournament, gave him Titi the chance to score the winner.
Yeah, totally. Like, really great performance from Kante. I mean, he's been great throughout the whole tournament. But what do you make of the Belgian players after the game saying, "Oh, this is anti-football, and I'd rather lose with Belgium than I'd rather lose with France"?
Yeah, that was Hazard, I think, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
Courtois said he would rather have been beaten by Brazil in the quarters than this France team in the semis, because at least Brazil tried to play football.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's the kind of salty comment that you get after you've lost a big knockout game. I think basically, look, France did not play an expansive attacking game, and I get that, and I get that Belgium have played quite attackingly, but it's nonsense, isn't it? Look, Belgium would much rather be in the final having played a bit more defensively, I think, than have gone out in the semi, or having got out in the quarterfinals to Brazil. Bizarre comment. Yeah, I think it's a bit sour grapes, and I completely get it, because, you know, it hurts going out of the World Cup. It hurts going out to a close rival in a close game as well, you know, just the one goal in it. But I think we should take it with a pinch of salt, and I think they, in a couple of weeks' time, might change their minds about those comments.
So moving on, Croatia and England, that game. So you were at the game yesterday, so why don't you tell us a little bit about it? I mean, I know you're English, so.
Yeah, look, England started really well, and for a stage of that first half, it really felt like the game was going to get away from Croatia, because England were playing better on the pitch, and in the stands, the England fans were making a lot more noise than the Croatian fans. On top of that, the Russian fans were booing Vida, the Croatian centre-back, after the comments he made after Croatia's win over Russia. So I think he said "glory to Ukraine" or something like that in a social media video. Now, that did not go down well with the fans here. So he was getting booed a lot. And just the atmosphere and the flow of the game combined, it looked like it was going to be England's day. But you have to give so much credit to Croatia for turning that around. I thought what would swing this game England's way was the physical element. I thought Croatia having to play extra time twice in each of the knockout games before this match would be too much for them into the semi-final. Instead, what we got was another period of extra time where Croatia somehow looked fresher than England, and I think you could see with both of the goals that Croatia scored, they both really came from Croatian players reacting quicker than the England defenders, which tells you all you need to know about the energy levels that Croatia put in. It was phenomenal to watch, especially the likes of Modric, of course. He's just such a classy player. Once he got his foot on the ball towards the end of the first half and then through the second half and extra time, he dominated proceedings, and England just didn't have an answer, and they stopped doing what they've been doing well at the tournament so far. The set pieces weren't dangerous for the most part, and they made these silly errors in defence. They just weren't as switched on. So, yeah, it was a bit of a surprise from an England perspective. I think they performed worse than they have done in other games. And amazing from Croatian perspective that they still had the legs. After 240 minutes in the last two games, they went another 120 this time out. Phenomenal.
I think it really showed like good game management on the part of Croatia, and I think that's really where their experience came through. So, yeah, we're going to take now in the final France against Croatia. So, what do you think? Give us your thoughts on this.
Well, having just told you that my entire logical basis for my last prediction on England-Croatia was proved complete nonsense, I'm going to double down now and say that fitness is going to be the key in the final. I mean, 360 minutes of football in the knockout stages already for Croatia. That's got to be killing them, you know. To put it in context, France have won all of their games in 90 minutes. So essentially, Croatia have played an extra game of football to France in the knockout stage alone. I think that's at some point, it's got to have an effect, surely. And couple that with the fact, of course, that France are just a much better team than England are. They're much more solid defensively, for one thing. I can't see the likes of Varane and Umtiti making the kind of mistakes that, like Kyle Walker, for example, for Croatia's first goal last night did. You know, Griezmann, as I already said, I think low-key he's had a very good tournament. He hasn't performed in the way that the France team generally, he hasn't sparkled as we were expecting him to, and in the way that maybe Mbappe has. But I think he's actually been more effective. You know, he's been getting goals, he's been getting assists. The assist again for Umtiti in the last game. I think he's going to be crucial again, and Mbappe too. If he can run at a tired Croatian defence, that could be all France need.
Yeah, okay. So what do you think the score will be?
I think it will be comfortable for France. I think they'll win it 2-0.
Okay. So Ollie Moody has France beating Croatia in the final 2-0. I guess we don't even have to talk about the third place game because it's a little bit fresh still.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, look, it's not a game necessarily that gets people excited.
Yeah.
But I think it might actually be quite a good game of football, precisely because it doesn't really mean anything, you know. England will want to go out with a bang after having such a positive tournament. And Belgium will want to prove that they are better than they showed in that France game. And they'll want to at least leave with, you know, third place. Yeah. They won't want to lose to an England team that, frankly, they are better than. So I think it could be an interesting game. And from the English perspective, I hope it goes well for Gareth Southgate and his team, because they have completely changed the narrative around the English national team at this tournament. Nobody had any real expectations of England going into the World Cup, and they just turned around what people expected to happen. They took a negative in most World Cups in terms of the attitude towards the team, and they turned it into a positive. They've brought the fans and the team much closer together. It feels a little bit like 2006 with Germany. You know, the way that suddenly you just had this connection between the players and the fans that hadn't really existed in the same way in the years preceding it. So I think there's a lot of positives for England to take from this tournament.
All right, perfect. Well, we'll see what happens in both of these games. Until then, we'll let you go, and hopefully you have a great day in Russia. And everyone else, we'll see you guys later as well. All right. See you later, Ollie.
Bye, guys.